Hello everybody and welcome to this week's edition of Valpo Football Preview, brought to you by the South Shore Convention and Visitors Authority. Along with head coach Dave Cecchini, this is Todd Ickow. We get set for week 2 and the home opener. Always exciting for a night game, always exciting when St. Joe's is in. We'll talk about them in a second. Let's take a look back a little bit at the season opener. In a game in which you lose by 39 points, you knew going in, it was a Western Illinois team, which would be probably the toughest team on the schedule. A lot of things you wanted to accomplish, you were able to do so. You never come out of a loss like that and say, hey, it was a good game, but you did accomplish some things you wanted to.
Absolutely. I think there were a lot of positives to take away from the game. We weren't satisfied with the result. We'd hoped to keep it much closer and we'll hope to squeak out a victory and upset. But there were a number of positives, making it through the game on offense without getting sacked and really only the one turnover, which Ben was actually trying to do the right thing by throwing the ball away. He just didn't get it out of bounds. And we had a lot of sustained drives on offense, and I was very happy we were able to eat up a lot of clock. We didn't quit on either side of the ball. Offense finished the game with the 17-play drive, which took almost 10 minutes off the clock, which we were thrilled about. And the defense really never gave up. Defense did an outstanding job pursuing to the ball, playing hard, executing the scheme. We just came up short in making plays. Those one-on-one matchups, the receiver out-jumped our DB, or as what happened several times in the second quarter, they took some short passes and broke 3 or in some cases 4 or 5 tackles, and that's the biggest area that we really need to improve on is just that open field tackling.
You know, one thing that happened a lot last year were deep balls over the top, and it looked like the secondary did a pretty good job not letting receivers get behind them.
Yeah, we had very few coverage breakdowns. There were 1 or 2, and they were able to get some sizable gains, but nothing too deep over the top. And like I said, in most cases, most of those deeper type throws we had relatively well covered. We just didn't make the play in the end.
Ben Lehman ended up getting most of the snaps at quarterback. You head into the St. Joe game, and what is the quarterback situation?
Yeah, no, Ben certainly played well, and hopefully he'll learn from the mistakes that he made, and he's going to be our starter. I think Scott certainly didn't play poorly and would have played some more snaps had just the game materialized a little bit different and was playing more to his strengths. But I think Scott certainly. I'm not going to rule out the possibility that he's going to get a couple series in the game. We'll just see how the game unfolds and really how this week of practice unfolds.
Your first Valpo St. Joe's game. It's not a conference game, but it seems like one of the bigger games of the year every year. It's been very competitive in recent years. Unfortunately, it seems like a narrow loss for Valpo each time. Let's talk about the St. Joe matchup, the rivalry. Is it a little extra game this week compared to maybe some of the other non-conference games?
I think absolutely. We don't have a single player on our team that's beaten St. Joe's. So hopefully they'll be very, very motivated for this game, in particular being a home opener, a night game, with the popcorn festival and everything. Right. There's certainly a lot of reasons to get excited about this game, but it's going to be a challenge. There's no doubt about it.
The one good thing is their quarterback who threw for over 400 yards a year ago against you, Vandermeer, he's graduated.
Correct.
So you don't have to worry about him, but they do have a veteran quarterback.
Right.
Who's played some.
Yes, he started a number of games throughout his career, so he's certainly not. He's not new. Yeah. He has some experience behind him, and St. Joe's relies very heavily on a very, very talented running attack. They've got a couple of running backs that are extremely talented, and some veteran offensive linemen. So for us to be successful against them on defense, we really have to stop that run first.
And their 2 running backs, Shelton and Cook, combined for over 2,000 yards a year ago, and they're both back. And
right.
Obviously this is a challenge. You guys did pretty well. If you look back, I'm sure you look back at the film last year, of stopping the rushing attack.
Right.
And I guess when you play St. Joe's, and we know this over the years, seems like a pretty diverse offense. You've got to do everything well defensively.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And even their 2 running backs are different styles. You've got their starter who's a big power back, a guy who's very physical and can run people over, and then they've got a nice changeup, bringing in their second team tailback who can make you miss.
All right, let's talk about on the other side of the ball. What can you guys do offensively against them?
Well, the first challenge that we're going to have is we really don't know what type of defense that they're going to be playing. They've got a new defensive coordinator that they hired over the summer, so after spring ball. So we're not sure how much they're going to be changing defensively. So that's our first challenge, is just to figure out what they're going to be doing on the defensive side of the ball. They do have a lot of talent. Again, just like last week, the defense that we're playing against has a lot of returning starters. They've got a couple of really big nose guards who do a great job of plugging up the middle. They've got a couple of outstanding linebackers on the inside, Yeoman, on the outside, Martin. Guys who are very talented, hard-hitting, aggressive, attacking style defense. They blitzed a lot last year. We'll see if they hold up this coming season, and if their new coordinators can make any changes. And they've got a veteran secondary in the back, all juniors and seniors, most of them returning starters. So we're going to have our hands cut out for us.
Could be one of the better St. Joe teams we've played. They haven't played a game yet this year, but it looks like from the numbers and the guys back, could be better than the St. Joe's team we've played the last few years.
Yeah, they finished 8-3 a year ago, and like I said, I think the quarterback situation is kind of the really only question mark coming into the season.
Good luck on Saturday.
Great, thanks.
For head coach Dave Cecchini, this is Todd Ickow. Thanks for joining us this week on Valpo Football Preview, brought to you by the South Shore.